Today, not the most exciting video, not the most entertaining video, but a really, really important topic. We're going to talk about how I do my chart markups. You've probably heard me, show these either on Instagram, or you've maybe heard me talk about them when I talk to new traders about how I show them the patterns that we trade. I think that chart markups are a huge part of your growth as a developing trader. Some people will call this backtesting, chart study, whatever you want to call it. I look at it, my visualization of it is the reps in the gym. How can you say that you're trading a system if you don't go constantly seek to improve it, constantly seek to make sure that it's working still, right? Because for every trade that I take, I don't know the statistic exactly, but I would say there's probably 3 or 4 trades that I miss. So it's really important for us as traders to come back at the end of the day and look at all the trade opportunities behind our systems that presented that day. The winners, the losers, the maybe we would have traded that, but we avoided it because of this. It's important to take all of that data at the end of the day, document it, organize it, and then study it so you can constantly, like I said, look to improve your edge. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Austin Silver. I'm the co-owner and head of trading here at ASFX. I appreciate you joining us. If you find value here, do me a favor. All I ask is the thumbs up down below and subscribe. That helps us, reach other traders in the community, and it also makes sure that you don't miss any future videos. The more exciting videos, the live trade recaps, all the fun stuff that everybody loves to see. Today's video, like I said, is going to be more of that real education. You're actually going to learn a lot here about our systems because I'm going to walk you through 2 trades on GBP USD yesterday because I have to show you how I do markups. So the first thing you have to understand before we go into the chart is you have to use repeatable systems. This is your edge. And what I mean by system is an entry signal, an exit signal, and how you're going to manage that trade throughout. And the management, I think, can be broken apart into risk management, which is decided before you actually take the trade, your position sizing and the quality of the setup, and then also trade management. Like I said, kind of how you exit the trade, where you move your stop loss, how you close in pieces, things like that. All of that, and I know that's a lot for some of you that are new, but all of that should be predetermined in your system. That is what you look for in these markups. So today, we're going to look at 2 A1 entry signals. Now, the A1 is the system that I've been using for a long, long time. It's been modified over the years. The name has changed a little bit. We've added a couple of parameters, taken some things away, but this is what I call the bread and butter. There's another video that's done pretty well on our channel called the bread and butter Forex trading strategy, and that's where we really go at this A1 system. So I'm going to show you 2 of those today, but the reason I chose A1s versus, you've probably heard about the D1 or the D2, which is my other 2 signals, those are more advanced, and I think to understand those, you really need to grasp the A1. So I figured today, let's just stay focused on the A1. And the guys that know the D1 and the D2 that are watching this in our VIP chat or already taking the courses, you guys will know how to go look for D1 and D2 trades after I show you how to go look for A1s like we're going to do here. So it really starts with the rules list. And once you have that checklist, because whether you take my course or you take someone else's course, hopefully they detail for you like I do, the exact steps that you should go through every morning to qualify the best trades behind that system. So again, we're focused on the A1 today. So let's take a look at TradingView. One of the first things that I look at every morning that I'm trying to match up for confirmation of trend, just to see which pairs are moving in trend, because I don't like to trade counter trend, ideally. I look at the TDI. Now, yesterday, the TDI on GBP USD was perfect. It was in the buy zone. It was not overbought. It looked really, really great to look for longs. Then what I do is I look for the EMAs to see if they confirm that trend. And they did yesterday. 800 EMA down here on the bottom, 200 above that, and then the 50, the lighter blue line, was above that. So everything was in an uptrend, so I was clearly looking for longs from the start of the week. Now, Monday, there was a bank holiday, so we really weren't trading. Markets were kind of quiet. So you're coming in here what I call on Tuesday, the start of the week after Easter. So the first thing that we do, now that we know we have something that would qualify for a potential A1 setup or D1 because of the EMAs and the TDI. Now, in hindsight, of course, because it's Wednesday now, not Tuesday anymore, we're looking at this trade left to right, because that's the way the time presents, to see what would be a potential entry signal for us. What fits the parameters of an A1? Whether it's a winner or a loser does not matter. You have to make sure that you're judging it unbiased from the start of the day all the way through, left to right. Because if you don't, you're going to be looking at it with hindsight bias, and you're going to, oh, I wouldn't have taken that trade. That loser, I would have avoided that. You can't do that. You have to be unbiased with it. Otherwise, you're basically doing it for no reason. The whole point here is so you can see the winners and identify what makes them unique. And at the same time, to really be able to know what makes them unique, you have to be able to see the losers as well. So you can say, I'm not going to trade into divergence, for example, because I know that that ruins my setup. I'm going to use that to keep me out of bad trades. You won't know that unless you go do these markups. So the first entry we're going to look at is actually here in the Asian session. When I'm looking at it from the changeover of day right here, the vertical dotted line, all the way through, the first thing that I see that matches on the price action, matches on my other parameters, and matches on the TDI for an entry signal is here at 2100. So in hindsight, what I would do is I'd come in here. This to me is a 3-candle formation for a new high of day, right? The next 15 to 30 minutes should also break for a new high of week in an A1 situation like this. And it does. So this ends up being a winning setup. So what I'll do is I'll use the measurement tools here, which I selected all these tools here from the left side. I just put them on my favorite bar. And that helps me just float this around so it's really easy to do this fast. So I can draw the rectangle around the formation. I like to draw vertical lines here to mark the time and the date so I can see that at the bottom, right? Then what I like to do is measure it. So draw it and add your spread in. Don't put it right there like you got some perfect entry. That doesn't happen. Add the spread in, put the stop where it would go for your entry signal, and show how you would manage this trade. So for me, what I do in my notes then is I'll come in here, kind of put this in the center so I can see everything. When I take my picture, I need that. I want to see as much as I can. I'll click the little text bubble and I'll start writing. So this is an A1 formation off the 21 EMA. EMAs and L50 confirm the direction. Asian session. So I would size down because both GBP and USD are closed, so it may be slow. But we know this A1 should hold the 8 EMA and go for a new, high of week in the next hour or so. That's what the A1 system calls for, and it does. So that's my notes on how I would take the entry, what I was looking at beforehand. Basically, that's as simple as I make it. I now have the time marked, the entry signal marked, and then what I'm looking at now, as I've gotten better at this, is how would I manage this trade? Where would I take profit? Because I have exit signals built into my system, if I gave this, let's just say, a B grade, I know that at 2R, some of my trade would be closed. So I'll put another little text bubble here and say, I'm up 2R, 75%, let's just say, of the trade closed here. Stop loss moved into profit at 1R. Can't lose any money. Done. Any money. Done. So that's there. Now it's there. It's perfect. Then what I do is I'll click the price here. I'll kind of size it so it looks good. I'll move this out of the way just so I can check it. And the one thing I want to mention is I do have the ADR indicator on. Doesn't matter which one you're using. I know mine got blacklisted. I'm trying to get it back. But you can use that, keep that on because you want to see, was there space on average daily range? That's part of our system. If you're using our system and you're watching this to see how I do our markups and you're in our group, you know ADR is very important, so you want to keep that on there in all of your markups. But now this is set. My entry's marked. I know what I'm looking for. Everything is kind of laid out for me. So when I come back to this, because remember, the goal is to be able to come back to this and study it. When I come back, today's Wednesday, let's say I come back on Sunday. Now I can remember exactly what was going on here when this trade happened. That's the beautiful thing about it, because now I've put my notes in. Let's just say this was later in the day that it happened, and it's very still kind of fresh on your mind, hot on your mind. So then what I'll do is I'll come up to the top here and click the camera symbol. You can also do Option S if you're on an iMac, and this is what pops up. You can do two things, and I showed you this in the other video. Copy the link and send this to somebody, tweet it, or do what I do, save it. This is very important. So I right-click on this new thing, Save Image As, and I have a specific folder here. You see it's April Markups in my iCloud. Look at how each pair is detailed here. Let me drag this down. Look, all of my trades are here. The pair name, the time frame, the date, and the time that the entry happens. So this gets documented as GU. We're looking at the 15-minute time frame, 4/13/2100. Boom, save. Next. Just like that. It's really that simple. And what I'll do sometimes as well is I'll do a markup of this trade on the 1 hour. So literally I'll just switch over to the 1 hour, move everything over so I can stay aligned, kind of keep it center. Maybe I have to drag this out. Whoops, not that far. Drag this out like that just so I can see the whole thing, right? Maybe I don't need this as much. I can kind of delete a few things just to make it a little cleaner. Oh, wow, look at that 1 hour. TDI is beautiful. outside the 8 EMA. So I want to document this. On the 1 hour, what I would say is, this is clearly long biased outside the 8 EMA and TDI in the buy zone. So solid. I mean, that helps confirm what you see on the 15-minute. Take a picture of this, save this in the folder. Because then what happens is you can go back to the folder and go through the 15-minute, the 1 hour, even do the 1 minute if you really want to put that work in. And then you can see, maybe I could have gotten out here out of this trade that was a loser. Or maybe I could have added in here. Let me see if I see that pattern over and over again. What that's led us to is reentry signals and, like I just said, add-in signals where you can put a little bit more risk in because you're getting more confirmation that the pair is moving in your direction. You would only learn that by doing these markups. Now, what's been really, really amazing is to see so many people in our VIP chat step up to the plate and start to do this. I want to show you here in our VIP Facebook group. I post my markups here so everybody can come in and study. And we also do live recaps at the end of the day where everybody can hop on here. See that daily market recap event? They hop on live with me in the private Facebook group, so only members can join this. They hop on, ask me questions, and we go through the entire market, not just one pair. And they watch me do my markups, basically. But what's been really awesome is, like this, Agris sending his trades. And I mean, look, they look just like mine. The detail is really good, and it's there. And I can go in and give him feedback. I love his markups. I think he's spot on with them. But again, look, Alfonso here, killing it with the markups. Let me show you some more. Andrew came in with a video yesterday. Eric with more markups. So you're seeing more and more people follow my lead here. Look at these markups. Very, very detailed. To some of you, this is going to look like nonsense. It's going to be like, oh my God, there's so much shit going on. This is crazy. I promise you it's not. This is just a language, and anyone can learn to speak this. This is not that complicated. If Eric Jacobs can do it, anybody can do it. I love you, Eric. Again, another one, Jerome here, Aiden. I mean, these are people all over the world. Colby, Anthony. I could keep going. There's Agris again. Wayne. Lindsay. I mean, I could keep going and going and show you all the people in our group that see me doing my markups. They step up, they start doing them, and it makes them better traders. The whole point of doing this, guys, like I said, is it's the reps. This is getting your reps in at the gym. If you don't do this, you're not going to be able to say to me confidently or honestly that you're refining your edge. If you're not doing markups, I know you're not journaling. And if you're definitely not doing those two things, you're not growing. You're going to plateau, and you're not going to continue to succeed if you even are already. So if you're struggling, I would say pick a system, find a system, precise entry, precise exit, detailed risk management, and go back test it. Go do 50 markups of it across different pairs. Find that same signal and get it under your belt. Refine it. I mean, I have markups. I could show you markups back to 2016. Maybe we'll do a whole video of that. Comment down below if you want to see that. A whole video of all my markups all the way back to 2016. They've been so important to my success. So important. And that's why I'm such a big believer in it. I don't think you need to trade more hours. I don't think you need to try to trade more pairs. I think you need to master one system, get it down really, really well. And the only way to do that is putting in the work on these chart markups. So I hope that today's video, I know it wasn't as exciting, still provides you some value. I think it actually provides you probably more value than the live recaps if you're really listening. And drop a comment down below if you did enjoy it, or if there's anything that I didn't cover and you need me to redo and cover again. I'm more than happy to do that for you guys. So again, thumbs up if you found some value, subscribe as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video.